Okay. Whoops. It's time to call this meeting to order. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have any public comment this morning or this evening? No public comment. Okay, we'll move on for the engineer update.
Good afternoon, JD King, Page County Engineer. It's a good day in Page County. I don't have specifics.
It's not snowing, how's that?
It's not snowy.
Yeah,
We're in the winter. Our operations are weather dependent. We had the blades out yesterday and today, scratching ice on the gravels. It doesn't, the forecast has it not freezing much overnight. So the roads are likely to be sloppy in the morning. So we're gonna bring the blade guys to town and burn stuff. Later this week, if it cools off overnight, we may go back out, scratch more ice off the gravels. You got several crews out burning the brush. We had a concern southwest of town with numerous brush piles. They were worried about snow drifting. So we've handled that issue, at least from the brush piles. There may be drifting snow, but it won't be because of the brush piles.
okay. Sounds good.
And we hope to put up snow fence Thursday. Tomorrow, we need a little frost in the ground so we don't make a mess of the fields, but we can't have too much frost in the ground because you can't get in the posts for the snow fence. So we'll see how it goes Thursday. We're full up on trucks. They're all back to Clarinda. Couple of motor graders are doing service. Or one didn't start this morning. I didn't hear the resolution of that. And we're putting a few more wings on the motor graders, so we'll end up with 2 wings in the south and 2 wings in the north. District Materials was sending their information to the wrong person at the DOT. So we should be able to get that closed out pretty soon now. You know, like I said last week, this is the first bridge in a grant of 7 or 8 bridges. So they're working the kinks out, I guess. The next item is on the agenda. I'll skip that. We're working on project development, Yorktown's bridges, J53, treated base and seal coat and other work. And J53, the project that goes out from east of Shambaugh to the county line that's been ground up for several years, actually since 2019, is scheduled for construction in the April letting. So it'll be done during the construction season of 2026. We had a good engineers conference up in Des Moines last week. Our technician, Nick Heyer, gave a presentation to the technicians program about his contract administration work. It went well. Questions for the update?
Did you skip one or did I miss the heavy transformer?
The transformer was moved yesterday.
Okay. So it finally arrived.
It was in Hamburg and they drove it from Hamburg, took up the whole road. And they got it in the Northborough sub. Or at least they got it to F Avenue, and then it's their problem, not our problem. I do have a question from the zoning side. Is the board soliciting another replacement member,
We're working on
given
it.
the passing of Mr. O'Hara?
It's on our list.
Okay, thank you.
We have a new list, to do the appointments and things. So yes, we've got that,
Okay.
to talk about.
Okay.
Thank you.
Turn your attention to the next agenda item. It's sign the title sheet for our farm to market gravel haul this spring. We sign it today, upload it. It'll be in the March letting, so that's a good time in the spring instead of April. So I need
Okay, I hear a motion to approve the title sheet, to sign the title sheet for project FMCO 7355-73, granular surfacing for various farm to market routes.
like 17,700 tons, 50 odd miles, $500,000 estimate.
I'll make a motion that we sign the title sheet for the project FM-CO 73-5573.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
There
carries.
is a parent 156 in there, so
There's one.
on the title sheet and in the minutes will be the proper, there's a parent in there.
Yep, we all three signed and.
Yes. Anytime next month, I'll have the J53 title sheets ready to put together.
Thank you, JD. Anything else?
Nothing else?
Okay, no questions? Okay, let's move on to Mid-American Energy update from John Hoff.
Hello again.
Hello.
So we got a lot of restoration work going on. That continues. Still hoping to have that mostly complete by the end of the year. As you know, the turbines have all been topped off for a while, meaning that they're fully constructed, but they've had, some of them have had different things that still needed to be done on them mechanically. So starting tomorrow, you'll see more turbines spinning, and by Christmas, all the turbines should be spinning. That is the current plan. I don't think I have too many other updates right now. We're just trucking along. Any questions for me?
Where are we at with the lighting? With the FFA and looking into that?
I
Yep.
will get you. I'll
JD
get you an
says he's
update on
got
that.
maybe an answer.
What you got?
Getting back to the podium here.
A person from Mid-Am sent me building permit for the tower, the ADLS tower, or the ADLS tower.
Yep.
And
Okay.
so I approved that, sent it back,
Okay.
and we're looking at the entrance, the field entrance for the ADS tower. And have that, we have to look at it, the site, make sure it's safe,
Do you know where that's planning on going?
near E Avenue and 290th Street.
Okay.
So that's the status of the radar tower.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You signed that. Okay, I had a call this week from a lady who wanted to know, she'd read an article about asbestos being in the turbines, and so I contacted John, and he sent an email to me, and it said, the question I received was most likely coming in response to some news articles about asbestos in brake pads for 3S service lifts being discovered inside some turbines in Australia. This 3S product is not used by Mid-American. So that answers the question. I told the lady that I would mention it today if I found out the answer, and I did. So it's in Australia, and Mid-American does not use it, so you don't need to worry about the asbestos.
Correct.
Okay, I appreciated that quick answer, John.
Absolutely.
Because we just want to keep everybody informed, so.
Mhm.
Okay, if that's all we've got, we thank you for being on here.
Yes, thank you very much. See you next time.
Okay, have a good week. Okay, our next thing is to discuss Farnsworth, Kelsey Vetter with the, talking about the courthouse roof. And I see Kelsey's on there.
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
So I believe everyone should have received an email with a plethora of documents, including the potential schedule, the cost estimate from Farnsworth Group, as well as the quote we received from the clock tower manufacturer for recladding. There were also a couple sets of meeting records, and then the progress drawing set and the progress specifications. So I guess first and foremost, I want to ask the question if there were any questions regarding any of the documents that were sent your way.
Don't have any.
I don't have any either. I reviewed part of it and then I spaced off part of it, so, but I think I knew. I think I knew him from before, so yeah, from our
Yep.
previous talk.
Yep. Sorry to blast you with so many documents. I just wanted to make sure everyone had it.
Have you heard any more from Campbellsville about any changes in theirs or from the original amount?
Just that at the beginning of the year, they will have price increases. And actually, the quote that they sent us, they said that, after, I think it was a couple weeks ago, they would not be able to honor that quote anymore, which is
Right.
not surprising coming from a manufacturer's standpoint. When they're using commodity products, those change daily, price-wise, and so they have to adjust to account for that. And it's pretty typical that we would see pricing changes at the beginning of year for most all products. So that's just the way it works out sometimes. I know that they wanted to push to, have us sign their quote now, but it's just not a possibility with this being a public project.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just didn't know whether they'd reached out again or not, so just a question.
Nope.
Okay, so what do we need to do now to
I
get this
I think
going?
the biggest question that I have right now is about the clock tower work. If everyone is on board with recladding the entirety of the clock tower and listing that as an add alternate to the project, or if there's another route that is preferred.
I've been in various situations this last week and have had different questions about it and different comments.
Mhm.
And most of them are kind of in awe of taking down the clock tower.
Yep.
But saying that if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. So that would be what I've heard. I don't know about anybody else. You heard anything?
No,
Todd?
I haven't heard anything. I just wondered if, so I'm trying to wrap my head around this. We send this out for quotes. The add-on is, there's a quote, or they'll give a answer to the quote for just the roof, and then the add-on would be the clock tower piece of that, or is it all a combination of one giant price tag, or?
So it's up to you how you would like to do it, but the from what I heard most recently from your team is that the base bid would be the replacement of the copper roof by itself. So you would have on the bid form from the general contractor, there would be a line item for replacing the roof as a base bid. And then beyond that, we would have this added alternate to the project, which would include removing the clock tower, recladding the entire thing, and then putting it back on as part of the project. And so then that would end up being a separate number that you could either accept or reject as part of the project. Now, if you accept it, then it's all lumped together as a single project performed by one general contractor.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now, if
We-
it's desired that you reclad the entirety of the clock tower, no matter what, then we could forego breaking out that cost. But that is up to your team. If you want that to be something that you could either accept or reject as part of the overall project.
Okay.
So it can be part of the overall project and then we can either, when the bid comes in, reject it or accept it.
The clock tower portion by itself, if we list that as an added alternate to the project, yes.
We just need to make a decision.
I did get a call this week from another roofer who's very familiar with historic buildings, and we had a conversation about if we were to try to repair any of those panels in place on the clock tower, and he started talking about the scaffolding that would be required for that and trying to brace scaffolding off of your existing structure in order to get up to that area. And right away he was throwing red flags. So it was just a conversation to talk about what that would entail, but he did sound concerned about trying to do that kind of repair in place and the scaffolding that it would take and the cost of scaffolding and what to brace it to. So
The danger it could be.
What are the risks for, so damage, like removing the clock tower, obviously taking that apart? Is there risk to the existing building? And if damage does occur, does that is that covered in the, I guess that would go back to the company that's taking the clock tower off? Or is that something that our insurance would have to be liable for?
I think that would
Like-
be possible. And they've done
Right.
it, and yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now, I would say that typically on projects, Page County would be asked to take out builder's risk insurance while the project is ongoing, but the general contractor will still have their own insurance. And so if they damage the building while they're working on it,
Right.
it's been my understanding that they're the ones that are liable to repair those damages. And for a lot of items too, we talk about if they damage the sidewalk with any of their lifts, they're responsible for putting it back in place as they found it before construction began. So we could certainly add some very specific verbiage into our project documents as well that also mentions that for the building itself.
And then I guess my other worry would be just that overall cost overruns. A lot of times you get into these older buildings, you uncover other things that pop up that end up having to be fixed in order to replace, maybe the clock tower piece. So I'm assuming, and our insurance is only paying for so much towards the bid. If that goes over what is bidded, what the bid is for, then does that cost come back to the county?
So I'll answer that.
As far as,
The insurance will pay for the roof and the clock tower. What they're not paying is to Farnsworth for the architect.
right, no, I get that, but
So-
I'm just saying if they go and they take the top of the clock tower off and take it to put it in pieces and put it on a truck, and then they uncover that, hey, there's some structural things with the courthouse that need to be fixed. That I'm assuming before they can go to completing the project, then I'm assuming that we would have to pay
We
that
have
to fix it,
Or
right?
file-
That's not gonna be part of the
Or file a
insurance.
claim, another claim for structural damage.
And the structural, are you talking about the clock tower itself or?
I'm just talking about anything that you
Okay.
uncover, cause you know,
Okay.
you start working on an old
Right.
building, you uncover some things that you might not know that were there.
And the people from Campbellsville were here, the gal, and went up there and everything is structurally correct with the clock tower.
Okay.
So it's a matter of taking that down and then putting it back up, but the base and everything is still sound.
Okay.
So that part of it
Mhm.
should be good.
Okay.
On that note, though, you do bring up a valid point because as your roofers are up there working, they may notice some masonry issues. And I know you've had a lot of tuck pointing done in the past. And so I would not be surprised if they were to bring that to your attention and say, hey, while we're up here, do you want us to fix that? Now, to Kristen and Judy's point, that would not be something I'm assuming that insurance would cover because it's not a hail damage claim. But I it's more than likely something that will occur, and that's just something that we'll just have to take in stride, and we'll have the discussion as to whether or not we proceed with the fix or leave it as is and have them continue. And unfortunately, that's part of construction to some extent, and with an older building that we're making changes and modifications to.
We have had a number, as Kelsey alluded to, a number of masonry issues over the years, so a lot was done after the fire, but I'm sure, it's been long enough that there could probably be other issues, so yeah. It's not something that we can say there won't be anything.
Yeah. And on a typical project, I would certainly try to cover those things and we'd list out a unit price for, saying, doing some of that tuck pointing. But given the funding of this project and with it being an insurance claim, I just don't know that we could put those provisions in there to cover that. Maybe we could do a unit price, and then if something does come up, just note with our insurance company that, that's something you would pay for separately. It kind of gets to be a sticky situation.
Sure.
Good question.
Okay. Well, I guess if we need a motion, I would motion that we make that an add-on to the bid. I don't know how you want that worded. So there would be the base bid of the copper roof, and then the clock tower would be an add-on.
Yep, it'd be an add alternate to the bid. And to clarify too, the replacement of the roof, we're not going back in with a copper roof. We're going back in with a painted Galvalume steel standing seam product.
And when I was talking to the insurance company, the copper, we'll be able to then take the copper and we'll be able to scrap it. The county
Okay.
and keep that.
So hopefully sell it.
Get some revenue off
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Do I hear a second? I'll second that. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? You're not voting? You're voting yes, okay. Okay. Okay, Kelsey, I guess, you can just go ahead and do what you need to do. Get
Okay.
us moving.
Then how long do the bids, how long do you anticipate having bids come in, or what's the time frame?
So the tentative schedule that I sent to your team, I noted posting the project for bid on January 6th and allowing 3 weeks for the project to bid. That gives us time to issue any addendum that come through from contractors. We'll have a pre-bid meeting on site so that contractors can come and take a look at the building in person. And then I listed bids due on January 27th. Now this is all tentative. Uh, I did note on here that we need to obtain insurance approval after bids are turned in. And I'm not sure how long that's going to take. Kristen said she reached out to ICAP and was going to get an answer on that. But this 3-week bidding time follows state laws as they list a minimum and a maximum. Now, if you have concerns with that amount of time, we can certainly increase it. I would not recommend decreasing by very much, just because you want to ensure that you get a widespread
Sure. Okay.
bid letting.
And I'm still waiting to hear back from ICAP. In the time frame.
Okay.
Okay, so we've done this. I guess the ball's in your court now and we're waiting for Kristen to find that one from ICAP. We'll go from there.
Nope, that sounds good. And we will be sending out additional progress drawings and specifications. And if any questions come up, we'll send that out as well. And hopefully we can stick to this tentative schedule and get this out sooner rather than later and keep the ball rolling.
Sounds good. Get it going so we can, if we have to, take it down and get it back up before next Christmas.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Kelsey.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. The next thing is to open bids for the farm lease. We did have one question. That they asked about the pasture land. And I don't know whether anybody, I guess we'll find out when they bid it, but they didn't do anything with that. Okay. Okay, we did have a question as to whether the bids could be, if the pasture land could be into crops. And according to Essie Davison's will that she gave the county back in 1991, I'll just read what her will said. Inasmuch as this was our family farm for many years, it's my desire that Page County use said farm in a fashion that would benefit the greatest number possible of Page County residents. It is my further desire that the permanent pasture located thereon shall not be plowed if possible. However, the county may use said farm as they determine to be in their best interests. So it could have been done had they wanted to use that in crops. So, okay. So we don't have any. Jason Whitmus is submitting this bid. I, Jason Whitmus, would like to submit a bid on the farm ground south of Clarinda as described as the north half of the southeast quarter, southeast except parcel A, and the west half of section 12, township 68, range 37, west of the 5th PM, except parcel B of the north half of the northwest quarter, and accept the Allen Davison Business Park addition, and accept a tract of land in the southwest corner containing 1.3 acres currently rented to Page County RC Club. I understand the lease will be for a 3-year period beginning March 1, 2019 and ending February 28th, 2022. Okay, those are the wrong Wrong dates, okay. Included in my bid, I will mow road ditches and field edges where possible. I will cut trees off of the terraces and out of fence rows, including stacking the trees in an appropriate place to burn them and treating the stumps so that the trees don't grow back. I would like to break down my bid as follows. 181.67 acres of row crop at $290.09 an acre, $52,700. 97.53 acres of pasture at $133.29 per acre for $13,000. Total bid $65,700. Sure what we do with that wrong date. That would be a question for Mr. Barley.
Say that again?
That would be a question for you, the wrong dates in here. But, the period beginning 2019, ending in 2022.
I think it's.
Just an error, clerical error. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right, and the second bid is from Justin Dahman. I appreciate this opportunity to place a bid on the Page County Farm. I would also like to thank the board for putting faith in our family farm to farm the farm and care for the land in the past. My bid for the farm is $71,200. I also want to let the board know that in the last 3 years, our farm has zone sampled and variable rate applied all lime, nitrogen, phosphate, potash, ammonium sulfate, and micronutrients to balance all the nutrients required to the best crop possible and care for the land to the best of our ability. The farm is in great shape for future production, and we hope to continue to care for the land. We greatly appreciate your consideration. So,
And then I just wanted to say both of the people that put in bids said that it would be best if they could have a 5-year. They both requested that.
I did a 5-year instead of a
Instead of
3-year.
a 3-year, and that has to do with the chemicals that they put in for fertilizer.
Okay, all right, so we have Jason Whitmus at 65,700 and Justin Dahman at 71,200. So it's a matter of a little less than $6,000 difference.
We just need to go with the
High
high
bid,
bid, right? So
Right, yeah.
Make a motion, we go with Justin Dahlman for 71,200.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do you want to consider a 5-year instead of a 3-year?
Too late now.
Okay, all right, so we're doing it for 3 years.
We decided, we talked about that before.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna, 3 years and Justin got it. Dahman got it, okay. 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 All right. Okay, our next item is Page County, the cost allocation plan. Kristen, do you want to explain that? It's a thing that we have every year, so we always have they come and they go through all of our spendings and expenditures, revenues, and then we get a certain amount back on a cost allocation plan.
And yeah, it's something we have to do in order to, it's required if we want reimbursement for any federal grant programs. And that's why we do it every year.
And I need to have you approve that to approve me signing this certification of the cost allocation plan. We will be receiving the reimbursement for this year is about $22,909. So. Could I have a motion for me to sign this? Would you like to make that motion?
Trying to read through it.
Well, you're reading it through. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
It's a formality. It's just something we do every year.
So so the money that we get back
Goes back in the general fund.
goes back to okay.
Make a motion, we approve the CASI.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Right. The next thing, it has been asked by our, yes, by employees. And I think this is something that we probably overlooked when we approved the holidays at the beginning, to change the dates from December 24th and 25th to December 25th and 26th, which we normally would do. So if that's okay with everybody, we will approve that. It just makes a Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
The other thing, some of the employees were asking if we would, if you would let them off early on Christmas Eve as part of the change. Brenda, do you want to talk about that or?
It's just that there's another county that's doing that, they're closing at noon.
And
The,
yeah, and when we looked at past records,
it has been done.
it has been done in the past when Page County had a Thursday, Friday off. They took off early on Christmas Eve. Just to allow employees to travel.
I'll make a motion that we switch 24th to the 26th and then close the courthouse at noon on Christmas Eve on the 24th.
Second.
All in favor?
I
Okay. All right. Okay, board communication.
had a emergency advisory council meeting last night. Or for the essential service council meeting last night.
Okay,
And then there's a RPA Zoom call tomorrow that's kind of a short thing that they need to have a little bit of a Zoom call tomorrow.
okay. Anything else?
Landfill meeting, everything's going good there.
Good, okay. Anything on the county paying or anything?
We didn't
Nothing else to discuss it?
Nope.
Okay. I think I mentioned interagency last week. Can't remember anything else.
I don't, are you going to the?
I am going to the district supervisor meeting on Thursday in Cresta.
I had told him I'm not able to.
Okay.
So,
Yep, it's always in December, so.
Yeah.
The weather's always a little iffy. But it's in Creston, I think it's from 10 to 2, so I am going, to that. Then I have to turn around and go to Nebraska City on Friday, so. Anyway, okay, I will represent you well, I won't
Okay.
do anything I shouldn't do, so. Anyway, legislators come to that. It's usually a good representation of the counties in District 4. So it's pretty interesting most of the time. So, yeah, so I will be there. Okay. Okay, minutes from December the 2nd, approval.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as stated.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the next item is to adjourn.
Make a motion adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4:39.